Hi, everybody. Welcome to City Girls Pod. And this is a show where we love talking about it just like that. And we've been waiting since 2023, and it's here now. We have season three. The madness continues. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about the premiere today and share all our thoughts. I'm Rachel Wagner, and Jax is here.
Rachel, yes, we've been covering the rest of SJP's canon as we
Yes.
hopefully wait for And Just Like That. And I will say it did not disappoint in the sense that there is plenty to talk about.
Yeah. And I know there's some people who are like, why would you cover it if you haven't really liked it? And I'm like, well, that's kind of the gig that we're in, is to, we signed up, we hitched our wagon to this train, and that's what we're doing. But also, I was legitimately hopeful when I saw that teaser with that trailer. Maybe it will do the trick
Yeah.
to not have Che. Maybe that's like sort of the fatal flaw of the show. And now that they're gone, maybe it will be better. And I guess it was a little better, but I felt like they just made more baffling choices.
I definitely think I'm enjoying this season, or at least this first episode
Yeah.
more, and we'll get into it, but it's still like cringe.
It really is.
you
So,
know? But there are a few things that I really, really
it
like.
was, it's so funny. Um, Miss Mojo, Watch Mojo on YouTube. They
Yeah.
put out a video this morning of the 20 most cringy moments of And Just Like That. I'm like, 20? What?
Okay, I have to watch that.
Yes, I put it on our at City Girls
Oh,
Pod,
good, good.
on our Twitter, so people should check that out. I'm like,
20s.
20? I feel like I could write a PhD dissertation.
Rachel's like, how much time do you have?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. And
It,
Rachel watched this episode before me and she sent me a text and I could not stop laughing.
yeah.
Um, is truly parts of it feel like a train wreck.
Like, I was talking to my friend about it, and we're pretty sure that everybody involved just like really doesn't like Sarah Jessica Parker because these outfits. I mean, I know that Carrie was always an innovative
Yes.
dresser. She was very
Yeah.
obviously fashion forward. We know that, but these clothes that she has her in, I mean, it really looks like she is going to be unhoused very soon, which I just don't understand why they went with like bag lady. That's the look.
Yeah, that is what we're going into. And when you texted me the photo, there is this huge hat. It's like an SNL sketch, big dumb hat that
Yeah.
she's wearing. And Rachel texted me a picture of it, and it said she wears this hat unironically. And I thought,
Yeah.
surely, no, there must be something to it. Nope,
In,
just wearing the hat.
in the new movie, Another Simple Favor, it's not a good movie. Don't watch it, but the fashion is really good. So Blake Lively has this giant hat in one scene. Like, I mean, it is, she's like taking up the whole sidewalk just because of this hat. Huge hat. That is an epic look, and it's very fun in that movie. This is like a giant hat, but it's like covered with gingham yellow fabric, which was just like, what? What is this? It looked like a kindergartner had made it.
Completely.
It really did. I
Completely.
mean, it looked like somebody was had put a bunch of fabric and a couple hats and a table for kindergartners. And they're like glue, 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 glue. And then like, that's what it looked like. What?
It was I and no explanation. No explanation for it.
Oh my gosh. There were so many baffling parts about this episode. It was kind of fun because it was ridiculous. I mean, and it is frustrating because you're just like, think of all of the incredible things that we could have gotten that were canceled or not extended or whatever. And we got this season of it just like that seemingly nobody really wants. Like I feel like people are hate watching.
Yes. Here's the thing though. There is I'm actually enjoying watching it, and there's
But
something
it's hate
about
watching.
but it's hate watching. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hate watching, which is so weird. Which is strange. But anyway, so this episode, it's called Outlook Good, is the name of the episode, the title of the episode. It's as Carrie navigates long distance with Aiden, Miranda considers ghosting a hookup, and Charlotte tries to redeem Mr. Burton. This is directed and written by Michael Patrick King, and so he's coming back
Yeah.
strong. And I do think that the opening outfit that Carrie wore with the sheer and the pink and the flowers and the like, that to me was like closer to sort of fun strange than like whatever that hat was.
100%. So see, I love that outfit.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
liked
thought it
that
was
outfit.
feminine and fun. And yes, was it a little quirky, or like you could think it'd be like, oh, I could see how it'd be polarizing, but I thought it was adorable.
Yeah.
That
Well,
outfit.
and I think the more confusing choice was the black undergarments that she's wearing. I thought that was a little bit strange. I mean, I guess intentionally so. So you want to be like sheer with black. Um, I don't know. I just think it would have looked better if it had been like a full
Yes.
sheer, full pink kind of look to it. But I guess that was maybe part of what the designer was trying to say, was like brought to draw attention to the bra and
Right.
all that, like to draw attention to the bra and underwear. Like I guess that was intentional, but I don't know. I just think it would have looked better if it had been all pink.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah. So but that was a pretty good look for Carrie. And then we have Miranda at the ladies' bar. Uh, and oh, we should probably say, like, anytime we're covering anything Sex and the City related, this is a more mature podcast. So if this is
Yes.
not your jam, then like that's fine. We got tons of other content on the podcast. But anyway, so she's at this ladies' bar, and and she's drinking mocktails. So they did kind of make sure they were careful by that, because they had done this alcoholic plot line, but they really did like nothing with it.
Yeah, they did
She
like
never
nothing.
even went to treatment or anything. It was weird.
No, and I feel like it was this thing where it was so intense and then it was totally fine. Whereas like there's usually more of a journey with it. But I do like that she's still sober. I love a good mocktail. So, I
Yeah.
mean, bring it on. I don't like paying $16 for a mocktail because
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what they're doing now.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Why do you think that they have failed so spectacularly with Miranda's like queer journey? As a person from that community, knows a lot of people in that community. Like, why is it, do you think that she is gay herself? Cynthia is, why do you think that it has been so not good?
That's such a good question. And I feel like what they tried to do was instead of telling the genuine, what could have been very compelling story of this one woman and her coming out journey, they were like, let's tell a coming out story. Like instead of thinking about who Miranda would be attracted to, they were like, oh, let's take all these bits of queer culture and make Miranda part of that rather than just
Mm,
focusing on the love and connection that she could find within that
yeah.
community. And I mean, to be honest, I actually thought that in this episode, we'll get to it more later, but I actually thought Rosie O'Donnell was incredible. And there was something that was charming about this to me, not about Miranda's behavior, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like in previous seasons, they were just trying to be like, oh, look at how queer and progressive we could be, rather than thinking about the actual love story and the romance and what Miranda would really be
Yeah.
going for. What do
Well,
you think happened?
see, I what I think is so strange is that you would expect them to go sort of the girl boss, strong, empowered woman. I'm leaving Steve. I'm going to be this like more
Totally.
dynamic person, and it was almost like they were like, no, maybe they were afraid that's a cliche or whatever, because they they went like the opposite direction and made her like
Completely.
kind of mousy and kind of shy and awkward. And that has never been who Miranda is. And that's the problem. Like, if there was ever a character to go girl bossy, it would have been Miranda. Like, that's so it
Completely.
was like it feels like they were trying to fight the cliches with a character that is the cliche. Miranda practically invented that character archetype for women. And
She's
so
boss.
for her to become this housefrau, as I've joked many times, is just really strange. And at least, like, I guess in this opening bar scenario, like, she is kind of confident, kind of slick. And so we're getting like a little bit of that in with
Yeah.
her character. It felt a little more authentic. But I really think that's where they seem to be wanting to wedge this character that we know and love into this role that just doesn't make sense for her.
Completely. That is so spot on, Rachel. And like you're right, she Miranda girl boss before it was even a thing.
Yeah.
And I do feel like something that is, and we've talked about this a little bit before in previous episodes. Something that I feel like is such a bummer about this is like in the queer community, it's not just about romance and sex. There are so many like beautiful friendships that are formed. And she could have had an awesome friendship with Che. And Che, like they could have been like helping Miranda, being a wing person for them, doing all this stuff, like talking about coming out stories, but not had a romance.
Mm-hmm.
And it boggles my mind because why couldn't they have just been buddies? Like,
Yeah.
what's equally beautiful to like a queer romantic love story is queer friendship. Friendship is just as
Yeah.
beautiful as anything else. And why didn't they explore that with this character? But
Mm-hmm.
instead, they made Miranda, like you said, into I also want to get t-shirts that say Hausfrau for us, even though we
Okay.
aren't.
I should.
Um, so good.
I wish
Um,
I could be a housefrau. I'm ready.
Rachel's like,
I
could
know.
someone make me a Hausfrau? I wish I could be a house sprout. I'm ready.
That's
Rachel, you would
good.
never, but here's the thing. No matter what, you would never stop working
Yeah, that's
like
true.
60 plus hours a week. It's
Yeah,
just who you
that's
are.
true. Yeah, that's true. But I could be, I mean, let's see, there's nothing I would like more in the world than to be a lady of leisure and just to like go to shows all day, every day, go to New York whenever I want so I can see all the, shows. I can, yeah.
I feel like you would be so good at it because here's the thing. I think some people, if they come into money, they get bored, they don't know what to do, they feel like they have no purpose. For you, you have so much that you do that like you would still be busy as all get out. You just wouldn't have to worry about
I don't
money.
have to worry about money. Yes, so if there's anybody listening or watching, I'm available, ready to go. Let's do it.
She's ready to be a housefrau.
Yeah, I can do it. If you think about it, Miranda had the opportunity to go on an LGBTQ coming out journey. She even kissed the woman. Remember that episode where she was super impressed with the lesbians in the law firm, and she said no. And then she became more and more committed to Steve and became more invested in that relationship. And that's the way that we saw her become softer.
Yes.
Down some of those cliches, right? Was because of her relationship with Steve. And so, if anything, it again would make more sense for her to go the other direction and be all the more like masculine, butch, girl bossy, whatever, because that's who had previously impressed her. And it would be and it would be a natural bump off of what she had become with Steve and Brady.
Completely.
Right. So
Completely.
I'm going to do the like that would have made more sense. But for her to become like, oh, will you be nice? Oh no, like that's just not who she is, right?
Yeah, and it made her so much less attractive and compatible with Che when Miranda had absolutely no backbone. And look, I think Cynthia Nixon is a very attractive, sexy woman.
Mm-hmm.
Miranda could not have been less sexy. Like, like why would Che be into Miranda?
Well, I think if they had gone if they had basically had her become the hot lesbian that she was drawn to in that episode of Sex and the City, if she had become that person, then I could see Che being attracted to that person. But she's
completely.
But she's literally like standing at Che's apartment with a box of cookies, begging Che to love her, which is just like, what? This is not this person. Like, what are you talking about? And so yeah, I liked like this opening scene where like the babysitter's there and like, oh, and kind of flirty and whatever. I was like, oh, this is like a little bit more track, but I don't know. Like, did they think this whole thing with Rosie O'Donnell would be funny?
Okay, so here's the thing, what rubbed me the wrong way about this. I actually thought Mary, Rosie O'Donnell's character, was charming, gentle, sweet, beautiful, interesting. I loved this character. I thought Miranda, it felt kind of mean the way she was like dismissing. Like, look, number one, doing tourist stuff in New York, it's awesome. I live there. I love to do tourist stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're a tourist, even more reason to do tourist stuff.
Right.
Rolling her eyes and making fun of her. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tavern on the Green, that is an expensive, fancy restaurant.
I just went there in December. I didn't realize that was such a
it is wonderful.
I mean, I didn't realize that was like, and I mean, Sex and the City was not beyond going to the tourist traps in the past,
I'm sorry. And like to make fun of her for being at the M&M store and seeing Wicked. I'm sorry. That's adorable.
I did laugh when she was like, I got M&Ms from Miranda and Mary. That was really cute. I guess like the thing is that I just don't buy even this more sort of mousy version of Miranda. I do not buy for a second that she would have gone with her and that she would have. It just didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel authentic for her character. It didn't really feel authentic for Mary's character. I can understand Mary's character. Maybe if they had like gone out and were chatting and had like a really great time at dinner, like I can understand maybe like then inviting her to their room, and then they continue to talk. There's just, as somebody who is 44-year-old virgin myself, like I just, you would never go from like zero to hero, especially somebody that you're attracted to like that. Like you just, and somebody as like shy as she was, there's almost no way, like you just would not do it. Like maybe you would have the guts to say, can I hold your hand or something like that, but I do not believe that you would do that.
Well, that's another thing. Because Rosie O'Donnell played this character so beautifully, I also didn't buy it because it was this thing where, to your point, Rachel, yes, they're talking all this. They're walking in Central Park, and then there's this moment where Mary says, "Can I kiss you?" And they kiss, and it's like so sweet. I could see that, but I'm sorry. She's not only is she a nun, and I'm not judging that. I'm like, for her to explore this, she sacrificed a lot of her life to to be a nun. Like, I get it. I'm not judging her doing it, but there's no way that she would be sleeping with someone that she just met, because not only
Yeah.
your sexual awakening, you're breaking the covenant that you have with the
Yeah.
church. And I
And
think that's great. Like, I'm happy for
yeah,
her, but like, you are. So it
you
would,
would just be so nervous. You would, that, like, it would have been better. It would have been much funnier. Like, I felt a little mocking in tone at the way that they treated Mary. That they, again, the stuff with the touristing and the, like, the fact that she was a virgin and the fact that she was, it did feel a little mocking in tone to her. And if it, would have been, I think what would have been funnier and more authentic is, let's say they they go in for the kiss. Let's say they walked over Central Park, things are going great, they're chatting, whatever. They go in for the kiss, and she's really not good at it. Like, she's kind of sucks, and she's like, sorry, this is my first time being kissed. Like,
yeah,
that's funny. That's like a little bit funny, but it's like
yes.
authentically awkward.
Authentic. That's exactly right. Like,
You
she doesn't know
know?
what to do with her lips. She's just like seen it on TV. And like,
Yeah.
uh, I think you're exactly right, Rachel. I feel like this sat with me really in a weird place because I did feel like they were making fun of her. But I'm telling you, my heart was like just fluttering with like how wonderful Rosie O'Donnell was. Like, she wasn't playing at it. She wasn't making fun of the character. I thought she was
Oh,
so
yeah.
authentically dropped in. And I was like, wow, I love Rosie O'Donnell. Like,
Yeah.
I used to like her and think she was cool, but whatever. But so gently and beautifully played by her. And in a
Yeah.
certain sense, it felt a little out of place with these performances that sometimes
Yeah.
are feeling so over the top, like they're in a
Yeah.
farce, which maybe they are. But then she's giving this beautiful, authentic performance. I just
Yeah.
loved having.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. We're not used to seeing her in a more soft, subtle role,
Yeah.
for Rosie O'Donnell. So, and she did do a good job. She really did. Yeah.
I believed that she was a nun. Like, I believed it.
Yeah. I believe that too. Yeah. So it was very strange. It was just very strange. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Harpeth Road and Lindsay Gibson and her new book, Where It All Began. Still reeling from the shock of her ex-fiance leaving her at the altar, Willow Anderson flees to Martha's Vineyard after almost a decade away, forcing her to confront everything she's left behind. Her father suffered from a horrible fall off a horse at their family farm, and Willow has to return to the scene of a traumatic accident from her youth. Just as she begins to navigate taking care of her father's farm, her first love, Grayson Turner, walks back into her life, and he's got a secret that could change everything. I really enjoyed this book. I think if you like a good love triangle, it has a really good love triangle. It kind of reminded me a little bit of The Summer I Turned Pretty, like a little bit older version of The Summer I Turned Pretty, but a very spirited, passionate dynamic. I think will make a great summertime read, so you should definitely check it out. And you can purchase it wherever you purchase your books or use the affiliate link below. Make sure to grab your copy today. That is Where It All Began by Lindsay Gibson. I know you'll love it. Let's talk a little bit about this whole Aiden and Carrie thing. Okay, so at the beginning, they're sending each other postcards, which I guess is like cute and fits like Aiden's granola kind of lifestyle or whatever. But I mean, I guess I just don't buy it that Carrie would do this. That Carrie, I mean, she's really thinking she's going to wait 5 years.
Okay, so here's the thing. What I understand is him saying, I need to focus on my family. I love you. I only want to be with you. I can't get into this thing where it's like, even though we're apart, we're on the phone all the time, we're texting all the time and whatever. But to not communicate, like the way the relationship is set up, it's like you're not going to communicate barely at all. Like I can't imagine. Like
this is insane. Like
insane.
are they expecting to be committed to each other, or they can see other people?
From what I'm understanding, they are committed to each other. They're not seeing other people because Seema even says that Carrie is not dating in her 50s. Like she's like, you're not dating. So they are committed to each other. And it's not just that they're doing long distance. They're basically not communicating unless it's kind of random.
Yeah. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. Like, you need more than postcards and phone sex to have a relationship. This is absurd.
I love thinking of you being like a relationship advice columnist and being like, you need more than postcards and phone sex to have a relationship. And you know what? I agree with you. I agree with you. And the phone sex wasn't even planned, Rachel. That was like out of nowhere that he kind of like, because he was drinking, like broke the rule.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then she was faking it. But like, who cares if it's over the phone? Like, if the point is to give pleasure to your partner and it worked, then it doesn't really matter if, I mean, I don't know. It's Rachel, over the phone or what?
Rachel, I could not believe the fact. I'm sorry. This is Carrie, the woman who has cheated on Aiden multiple times and lied about it. And she's feeling like she did something wrong by faking it. You're exactly right. Like I don't feel like it feels inauthentic. She was just sharing a moment with him. I don't think that's weird or dishonest or disingenuous at all.
Yeah. I feel like, and I know that Michael Patrick King is the star and incredible, but I just feel like no woman would have written this plot. Like I do not know any women that would be happy with this as a relationship. Even Carrie Bradshaw. Like this is Nobody. A woman who literally wrote a column about dating. Yeah. And you're going to tell me that she's happy with postcards and occasional phone sex? No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. Yeah. Like, even if someone is in the military and they can't really communicate, there can be letters, there can be occasional calls, there's a plan. Usually it's like for like a 2-year period. This is absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The only part of it that made sense to me is that she wouldn't tell her friends about this. And I'm like, yeah, because it's nonsensical and stupid. Of course you're not going to tell them because they're going to be like,
Like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so yeah, wow. That was crazy. So we've got Seema. So she is been dating this director, Hollywood director guy. I forget his name. Director guy. But he is like a jet setter. He's going all over the place and filming and everything. And even when he comes to New York City, he's like focused on finding the right set as opposed to going out to dinner he wants to take her to Alberta Dan, I think it was.
Never been, but it's very fancy.
Yeah. I think La Bernadette's like what, $350 a
Yeah.
meal, something like
Yeah.
that, probably.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, this was a fine plot. It
Yeah.
worked for Seema's character. She's not going to be pushed around like Carrie, and it was I guess a nice contrast to Carrie's relationship, and they Seema's like, no, I'm not going to settle for whatever you're settling for. So it
Totally.
worked
And I
pretty
love,
well, I think.
I agree. And I love how at the end he's like, I'll always love you. And she's like, great parting line. Because he's someone who's so in love with himself.
Yeah,
And the thing is, like, I'm very different than Seema in the sense that I think going on a ride along to Location Scout would be really fun, all these things. But at the end of the day, he like really was being so disrespectful of her time.
yeah.
And I,
I think the problem is that yes, I would love to go on a ride along and things like that, but I would want to know that's what I was doing
yes,
and not even be dressed, ready to go for something else. That's where I think the problem is this guy was just like a terrible communicator and like not involving her in any of these choices. Like I think that's where the problem is that yeah, you lead somebody that, oh, I'm going to take you to this fancy restaurant, and not only do you not take her to a restaurant of any kind, you're literally eating like craft services in the car,
Cool Ranch Doritos.
crammed in with these people, right? Yeah, eating a sandwich. And so that's where I think the problem is more than the activity itself,
Yeah,
you
completely.
know? Yeah. So it was fine. It was fine. I'm curious, I guess, what they're gonna do with Seema this season, what they're gonna have her do. Honestly, I could see a plot line where Seema and Miranda would actually be a decent match.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
If we had Miranda as the powerful, strong human being that we know
Yeah.
her to be,
Yeah.
then like her and Seema could make sense.
Completely.
Because Seema is strong. She's girl bossy in a lot of ways, we see in this episode, but she also is feminine, and
Oh, yeah.
she's not too much of the cliche
No,
of
totally.
that, so they would make sense.
They would completely make sense. And I also think it's like, I do think there's something to be said for like they like a certain standard of life. Like, look, these are women who are in a very upper echelon income bracket in New York City. Like, they're probably going to date within that
Yeah,
class.
right. Well, let's talk about Lisa. So this was a frustrating plot line because so she's working to make this presentation for this like independent film documentary, right? That she's
Yeah.
making about Black women. That I think it's like underappreciated Black women is the
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like unsung.
Unsung, yeah, unsung. And her husband is running for comptroller, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that, for the most part, this was fine, but
Yeah.
the big thing, I did not buy for even 1 second that she would have taken that call in the middle of her presentation. I don't think that she would have even looked at her phone. She would have even seen it. There's nothing to make me believe. Like,
Girl.
no way.
No, no way. The phone wouldn't have been on. She wouldn't have been
Yeah.
able to see it. Like,
No.
it's one thing if there's an emergency and you're doing something and someone like rushes in, but first of all, we know
Yeah.
it's an emergency. And yeah, your phone just wouldn't have been on.
Yeah. And so you have no right to be mad at your husband for interrupting your presentation when how
Yeah.
the heck is he supposed to know that? He's like, why? I didn't even think it would be on going so long.
Right.
And like, you didn't have to pick up the phone. Like, in no world would you do that. Like, I rarely answer the phone, period, like these days. So almost with everybody, I guess a family member, and if I'm not doing anything, then I would. But for the most part, I let it go to the ringer, and then I listen to it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And but there's no world where that choice makes sense. And so it again, it was just that was not good. That did not make sense. And for her to be huffy at the husband because of that, and for taking her to this party, which he had told her about and she knew. And,
Yeah.
and then so he's upset about that. I mean, she's upset about that. And it's like, you're not being sensical. You're not making,
No.
you're not being reasonable. And that's what I always say when I talk about these shows is that I don't care if characters do mean things or unkind things. I don't care if characters do even crazy things, but I do care if it's not acknowledged that it's crazy and it's not in their best self-interest. It's not reasonable for them to make this choice. That then it just is frustrating. It's just like, what is happening? Like,
what is happening?
It's just nobody would ever do that, or very few people. And unless you just want us to believe that it makes the whole plot feel very inauthentic and phony, because there's no way that she would have taken that call in the middle of that presentation. No chance.
No, and especially, okay, so say, they can do on the phone where it's like, if it's off, but if certain people, if they call multiple times, it'll come through.
Yeah.
That would at least make more sense. But he just casually called one time.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, and also she's like, you're running for comptroller. You're the definition of not cool. Like, just because your partner has a stuffy job, in your opinion, or a job you don't respect, I guess, doesn't mean they don't want to like feel validation from you, their partner. Doesn't mean that they want to be told by their partner that, oh, you're looking really hot, you're really cool. Like,
yes.
I don't know. Like, that was just kind of like, I feel kind of bad for this guy. And I think that the show wanted us to feel like he was kind of a villain.
Completely. And I think she should be saying to him, like, not that she needs to be saying this, but like, oh my gosh, politician, you're so sexy. Like, look at you. Like, why would you be being like, you're not cool?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, so going back to Carrie, what is Carrie's job at this point? What is she doing?
Well, she hasn't opened up her laptop in weeks, Rachel.
Like, I get it. She's got Big's money, so I guess.
And she's got the house.
I guess
so she's
she
been
doesn't.
spending time with the house. I was like, what are we doing? I think she's supposed to be working on another book. And then at the end, we're like, oh, she's back to working on the book.
Do you think she has like an advance or anything? Or
I don't know.
What is she doing? Like, she was always gainfully employed. Like, she said she had her column. She had, like, as bad as that podcast was, she had something.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Did think that it was funny and it did feel authentic, everything with the alarm. And also the fallen, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, totally. That was
funny. That was funny. Because, yeah, you definitely get to that point where you're like, oh, my body's not moving the way it used to. Like, even at 44, I'm feeling it a little bit.
Well, and she's running around a huge house.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get it. And also the way they did that, I don't know if they had a stunt double, but it looked great.
Yeah, it did. That was funny. That felt classic Sex and the City to me.
Yes.
Yeah, and Carrie. Then we have the meet up with Anthony and Giuseppe. And when it first started and he's singing That Girl, I was like, is this a musical episode? It was like so strange to me. Like,
because it didn't seem like he was playfully singing it. It seemed
was
like it was like, yes.
I swear there was even like, it felt like there were even background music. Like, I was just kind of like, what is?
I did the same thing.
Funny.
I was like, Oh, are we doing something different? What's going on?
Yeah. So Anthony is the only one uh to tell Carrie that this thing with Aiden is stupid.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And then Giuseppe says, maybe don't be so you all the time. And it's like, well, wait a minute. She is being ridiculous, so I'm fine with it.
Also, Rachel, I'm gonna be real. He wasn't mean about it. Like sometimes you can say someone needs to hear a hard truth, but you can say it in a way that is kind. I
Yeah.
thought he was great about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have this whole plot with Charlotte's dog. She's out at Central Park, and there's this woman who accuses her dog of being a mean dog and attacking her dog, and she even like spreads all these rumors about her dog and that she can't get into the doggy daycare, whatever
Yeah,
kind of thing. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
cute.
It
It
was
was cute.
cute.
Did you think that her dog was the culprit?
No, Charlotte would never have a mean dog.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's no way. So yeah, I mean that was a fun enough little plot to have her and this rival and everything.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
And it's nice seeing Lily and Rock. I don't like how
Yeah.
they were like fighting with each other. You and I both do not like angsty
Teenage
teen
angst.
energy,
Yeah.
but
But Lily being attracted to this dancer is cute. That's fun.
totally. Yeah,
I mean,
and
I'm a little sad because I thought they might do something with Brady, because they built that up, Lily
yeah.
and Brady, but and that could have been fun, but it was fun to see them at the Met watching. A was it a high school production? Why were there no people in this
I was going to ask you the same thing. Why were there no people there?
so it obviously wasn't the New York Ballet, company, or
Here, here's what I'm confused about.
I think it was like the high school, but
But even a high school production at Lincoln Center would be full.
yeah, it was strange.
Did not
And
make
it
sense.
wasn't like a dress rehearsal.
No,
It was
I don't
weird.
think
I
so,
was
right?
like, what is this? You know what? It really did remind me of COVID. Like, what is this?
Yes.
It's like in a Hallmark movie, they'd have like the town big celebrations. There'd be like 10 people. Yay.
Like, whoa. Yeah, that's what it was giving.
Yeah. Like that the Nashville Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
whatever. Not
No,
a great movie, but like
no.
significantly hurt by the fact that with everything with COVID, like really hurt that
Everything.
movie. And the way that they had to like finagle around the fact that there's all these concerts happening, but no people in the stands, and then there's like a live broadcast, and you it was that hurt that movie a lot.
Yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like, why 20 people at this performance? Like, what?
It was like, okay, that I mean, it's awesome. Like a great private performance for you, but doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is when we get the whole thing with Aiden and Carrie and the call and everything. I ache for you. Oh my gosh.
I do love Aiden. I do love Aiden.
I love Aiden, but I just think he deserves better than this.
I do too.
I think Carrie deserves better too.
Yeah.
Like I know that Big had his flaws, but like he did love her. And I guess Aiden does love her too, but like I just think everybody deserves have a real like companion, not this, whatever this is. I don't know.
Yeah. So much about it is bizarre. Like, it's just like, okay, I get that you need to do that for your family and you should, but like, then this arrangement just isn't working.
Yeah, yeah. So then we have this whole thing with Lisa and her husband at the Red Rooster, the reception, and that Lisa's husband's in this a cappella choir, the 5 alarm choir.
That was cute.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot that's not cool about
No,
husband. So what if he's
no.
a comptroller?
He's attractive. He can sing. He's in politics.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It's kind of like so we did a special episode of the podcast on this little movie called Lisa on Love. You should watch it. It's really good. And in that movie, the the landlord he has this like hatred of single men. And, like I don't for some bizarre reason, he's not going to rent his he's
Are
not going
you
to rent
serious?
yeah, he's not going to rent his penthouse to a single man. And me and BT, when we were talking about it, we're like, we have no problems. Single men. And I feel like saying that here. Comptrollers, I'm on your side. I'm defending you.
And she's available to be your
I am
housefrau.
available. I am available to be a comptroller housefrau. I can't think of a better situation for me.
Especially
Although
if
I
he's in
don't
a
budget
fellow
well,
group.
so maybe I would be terrible with that.
Wait, you know what?
I don't budget well, so I'm not the
No,
best.
you don't have to worry about it. He has people for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He has people for that.
Yeah. So, but they really leaned into this, like, oh, Mary is such a loser because she invited Miranda to go on the carousel with her. Now,
Get out of
Jack,
here with that.
Jax, is that like if somebody were like, hey, say you were dating somebody and they were like, hey, let's go on the carousel, would you be like,
I would think it was sweet, romantic, such a great idea. I would do that now with like a friend. So
yeah,
if next time you're in town, you're like, should we go on the carousel? I'd be like, yes, let's do it.
yeah. Like I can understand if it was something like buying a I Love New York t-shirt and or like going to New Year's Eve
Right.
Times Square, something like that. I can understand that being like, oh, come on, that's so touristy. But
Right.
like riding a carousel, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, what is wrong with these people? They're
It is
weird.
it is so like I just don't go in for that whole like, oh, I'm a New Yorker, so I hate all the tourist stuff. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
part of the reason why I moved to New York is because I like that stuff.
I feel like everything in New York is touristy. Like, I mean,
Yes.
literally every building has people, oh, I want to go stand in front of this building. Like, it's just, I mean, yeah, you could do like, just treat it as like a completely bland city. But
Right.
yes, she literally is a tourist and like, she's picking reasonable things. Like, it's reasonable to go see Wicked. Like, that's not like,
Really.
crazy
No.
wild, I mean,
No.
especially the nun, she's not going to go to like some kinky off Broadway thing. Like, how would she even know about that?
Yes, she's gonna go see Wicked because the movie just came out.
uh, ridiculous. So I'm all for comptroller husbands who are in a cappella choir. Like, sign me up. I'm all for riding the carousels and going to Wicked. Like, everything this episode seems to ascribe as lame, I'm a fan of.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I like the way you and I are like,
I'm a fan of mocktails. I'm a
yeah,
fan of
we love all these things, people.
even postcard writing. I'm a big fan of postcard writing. If you all want to send me a postcard, we'll put all
Just
of that
address
I'm
it
a
to your
big fan of.
address it to your favorite housefrau.
Yeah. And but I did like, I guess my favorite part of this whole thing with Mary is that when she says, I would never leave God, we are married. That was authentic. That was a good moment. And it showed that she had a certain degree of self-awareness because she was acting like she was like clueless about everything that's happening. So I thought that was the best moment. I don't know if we needed to hear them sing for good. That was a little what, but
That was here. Two thoughts about that. Completely right about being like I'm married to God. So presumptuous of Miranda to think that, oh, now she's leaving the Lord and she's in love with me. And I actually just took it as maybe because I'm not someone who automatically assumes someone's like so into me. I think she just thought Mary was like, I'm in New York. I had a beautiful experience with this woman. I have a friend in town now, you know?
yeah.
And I want to keep exploring this, but I didn't think she was even like coming across as in love with her. The for good, again, just everything Rosie O'Donnell did in this episode I thought was so sweet. But they clearly put that in so that that character would look cheesy and be cringe. Um,
Mhm.
and but I just thought she ended up delivering it so sweetly that what is it now? I'm like a Rosie O'Donnell fangirl. I cannot stop. Everything she did in this episode, I was just like, oh, it's so pure.
I thought she did a good job with what she was offered. I just have some qualms about what she was offered, what she was tasked to do, but I think she did a good job with that.
Yeah.
And so yeah. And then we get this whole scene where Carrie confesses to Aiden that she was faking it, and then she wants to go at it again. And there's no world where he wouldn't just he's in with Wyatt. There's no world where he wouldn't just be like, I'll call you back 10 minutes,
Yes.
15 minutes.
Thank you.
Almost done with this.
Yeah. Also, I'm not saying that like
Like
even at
he
that
can
age.
just go into a bathroom. Like,
Yes.
I mean, just being, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it would have just been better to just not have Aiden.
I just need to know what's
This
going
whole
on with
spot decision is so strange.
it's so strange. And I don't know when he's saying Wyatt's having a rough night, what's going on? Like I know he had some issues with like alcohol addiction and driving while intoxicated, but like what's is he in treatment? Like is he seeing a therapist? Is he on
So is
antidepressants?
he
Like
going to be with Wyatt all night,
that's what
the
I
whole night in bed with his teenage son?
that's it's something is just not right.
What on earth? There's not a child in this on this planet that would want that. I don't care. I,
No.
there's no way. And so then it makes no sense to be like, okay, as soon as he falls asleep, I'm calling.
Totally. And also, I thought it would make more sense if it was that they were like sitting on the couch together and they had fallen asleep, but I don't think they would be in the bed together.
Yeah, no way.
It's just so
That's just not a teenage boy thing. Come on.
no, like being like feeling like you want to be close to your parents and maybe like falling asleep when you're on the couch makes more sense to me than they're in his bed and he can't
Like
leave
most teenagers want you to go away.
completely.
Parents, leave me alone.
Like, come on. What is even happening here?
Yeah.
It's nonsensical.
And we do get this whole thing with Carrie that she's not writing. I don't know if they're trying to say she has writer's block or she just doesn't know what to write about.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like her because this is also not in the spirit of the show because her whole thing with her writing was actually like the social commentary of the show,
Absolutely.
right? And
Yeah.
so you would have her narrating her blogs and be like, oh, so Miranda didn't really think lesbians were the way that she had thought or what, whatever. These were really, and we're not getting that. It's a
No,
problem.
that's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a big problem.
And so anyway, it's wild, this show. Oh my gosh. We're gonna
And
have
just
a
like
time.
that, they're reviewing it again and they're still
Just
baffled.
like that. So yeah, I don't even know if I was judging this out of 10, I guess I give it a 5.
I think I'd give it a 5 too, because again, I'm actually enjoying watching it and like cringing while I watch it. And then certain things I'm actually enjoying. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5 as well.
Okay, good. Let us know what you think. Where are you at on it for this episode? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section or on Twitter at City Girls Pod or Hallmarkies Pod on Twitter. And you can find our playlist with all of our Sex and the City Girls Pod content that we've done over the years. Really fun stuff there. And Jax, how can people find you?
Jacqueline Collier on Instagram.
Great. And you can find us at Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. You can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over the place. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really, really appreciate that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that so much too. We're getting closer and closer to 10K subscribers, but most of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers. So if you're in that camp, please subscribe. It helps us so much. And then we have our Patreon group, which is really fun. It's where we talk about everything that we're watching. And then we also have our monthly watch alongs and Q&As and other fun stuff. And so we try to make it very worth your while. We had a bonus episode this week. So we try to make it very worth your investment to join the Patreon. And then we have a merch store. We have City Girls Pod merch and other fun stuff over there. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.